Hello, my dear students, and welcome to your favorite educational YouTube channel, English Wali Ma'am, or you also popularly know me as Educator Prerna. So आज हमारी T20 सीरीज़ का नेक्स्ट डे है एंड एज promised because हम चैप्टर A Letter to God पढ़ चुके हैं. We've understood the important characters that are involved in the story. उनके character traits को हम समझ चुके हैं. And we have also understood the core values that we get from this particular story, A Letter to God. So आज के एपिसोड में आज हमने क्या करना है? Today we are going to answer the questions which are given in our text और उसी के साथ मैम आपको दो एडिशनल benefits दे रही हैं. First is that I'm going to share some extra questions that you are likely to get from this particular chapter और इसी के साथ I will make you underline important extracts from this chapter. Alright, so we are on page number 5 and let us start answering the question. So I'm basically going to give you the key points of the the key points for the answer, and then of course you have to explain it in your own words. So पहला question है, what did Lencho hope for? Of course he wanted a downpour or a rainfall to happen. Second, why did Lencho say the raindrops were like new coins? Pretty obvious, because this was because of the huge size of the raindrops. Third question, how did the rain change? What happened to Lencho's fields? So basically the downpour which occurred as a very pleasant rainfall, it changed into a hail storm. And what happened to Lencho's fields? His fields were completely destroyed. Fourth question on this particular page, on page number 5. What were Lencho's feelings when the hail stopped? He was completely devastated. Now we come to page number 6. The first question, who or what did Lencho have faith in? What did he do? So Lencho possessed unwavering faith in God, in the supreme power, and what did he do? He wrote a letter to God asking for 100 pesos. And second question is, who read the letter? The postmaster read the letter. Third question, what did the postmaster do then? He, along with his friends and family and colleague, collected as much money as possible to help Lencho. Now we are on page number 7. First, was Lencho surprised to find a letter for him with money in it? No, there's a very clear line on page number 6. It says Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Alright, what made him angry? Lencho was angry because he had asked for 100 pesos from God, but when he opened the letter, he found only 70 pesos in it. Then you have thinking about the text. Who does Lencho have complete faith in? Of course, in God and supreme power. Which sentences in the story tell you this? So first, of course, if you come to page number 5, it says, the following Sunday at the day break, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place it in the mail. It was nothing than a letter to God. Alright. The second sentence which tells us is that when he received the letter, when he came to the post office the following Sunday and he received that letter, he had no signs of surprise, as if he was 100% sure that God is going to send him 100 pesos. Why does the postmaster send money to Lencho? To preserve his faith in God. Why does he sign the letter God? Again, so that Lencho believes that this money is actually sent by God only. Did Lencho try to find out who had sent the money to him? Of course not, because he was very much sure that only God could send him this money. Then why does Lencho think who does Lencho think has taken the rest of money? According to Lencho, it was the post office. It was the post office employees who had probably taken the remaining 30 pesos, and this was the reason that he called them as a bunch of crooks. What is the irony in this situation? The irony, of course, is that the one who helped Lencho were the people who actually helped Lencho were termed as a bunch of crooks. Then, are there people like Lencho in the real world? What kind of a person would say he is? You may select appropriate words from the given box. So he's naive, or maybe he's a little comical also. In a way, he's unquestioning also. So different words. Then six, there are two kinds of conflicts in the story. First is between human and nature, and then between human themselves. And how are these conflicts illustrated? So between nature, human and nature, it is that how human beings sometimes expect nature to give them any kind of benefit, but how nature also has the power to destroy human hopes and aspirations. And second, between humans, the one who's helping you, you blame that person. We become at times so ungrateful that instead of thanking them, we start blaming them. So these are more or less the questions which are given in the text. Now let us come to the some set of extra questions that I have prepared, and then by the end of this video I will make you underline important extracts from the story. So here we go with extra questions. I hope all of you can see this screen very clearly. Alright. So, chapter A Letter to God. So what are the short answer type of questions you are likely to be asked? First is, how did the scene at the valley change after the hailstorm? So we know how the entire fields were blossoming with flowers. They were draped with flowers, with corn, ripe corn. But the moment hailstorm occurred, the crops were completely destroyed. How do we know that Lencho possessed unwavering faith in God? So similar kind of question that is given in your textbooks. You need to quote examples from the chapter. Describe the transition in the postmaster's attitude on seeing the letter addressed to God. So first, the postmaster, he started laughing about it, and but just a few moments later, he became serious and he said, "What a faith!" All right, and then he decided to help Lencho preserve his faith in God. Let's come to the next question. It says, why did Lencho call the post office employees a bunch of crooks? Obviously, because Lencho thought that God had sent him 100 pesos, but it were the post office employees who had probably stolen the remaining 30 pesos and only left 70 pesos in the envelope. Now the next set of questions are long answer type questions जो आपके syllabus में दिया गया है. Extrapolation beyond the text, related to some values, related to some characters. So all these categories of questions. So किस तरह के topics आपको long answer type questions में पूछे जा सकते हैं? So it could be related to faith, actual faith, maybe superstitious also. Then human trust, bond between humans, and farmers' misery. These are more or less the topics on which you can be asked some long answer type questions. Alright? Okay. So now let us come to the important extracts which are given in this chapter, A Letter to God. Alright, so I want all of you to come to page number 5 and let us start underlining. It's one which you've already. Okay, so before page number 5, let's come to page number 4. If you see the first paragraph, the third line, the air was fresh and sweet. So this, starting from this, the air was fresh and sweet, and ending till the big drops are 10 cents and the little ones are 5s. So why this extract is important? Because it describes the happiness that Lencho had the moment the rainfall started to occur. And of course also describing the kind of rainfall it was. Then on the same page, if you look at the last paragraph, not a leaf remained on trees. The corn was totally destroyed, and this continues to till page number 5, till the hail has nothing left. This extract is important considering the transformation that occurred on the fields. Then on page number 5, something that you've already underlined, Lencho was an ox of a man working like an animal in his field, but still he knew how to write. And in the last, it was nothing than a letter to God. This extract gives us a character trait or two character traits of Lencho that we've discussed yesterday, and also talks about the amount of faith that Lencho possessed in God. Now on the same page, page number 5, the last line, the postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing, ending at starting up a correspondence with God. Why this extract is important? Because again, it gives out a character trait of the postmaster, and it also describes how postmaster was kind of determined to help Lencho preserve his faith in God. There are certain words or phrases, beta, which I keep on repeating while I'm explaining the chapter. Try and use them in your answers. Now on the same page, the second last passage, Lencho showed not the slightest sign of surprise and denied Lencho what he had requested. This extract tells us that how much faith Lencho had in God, that for sure God would send him 100 pesos, and how his reaction changed when he counted the money. And on page number 7, the moment letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went open it, and ending with, but don't send it through mail because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Signed, Lencho. So again, this extract tells us, this is the irony in the story. This extract also tells us bond between different humans. This extract also tells us the amount of trust that we lay on each other, and the entire twist in the story. So these all extracts are important from exam point of view. So study them thoroughly. I will see you all in the next week with a fresh chapter, with a poem, in fact, Dust of Snow. That's the poem we are going to study. Till then, stay blessed.